Improving traffic safety through reporting. This video is about collision reporting. It does save lives. You may ask yourself, what does this mean? What's in it for me? You will hear from two agencies that made a difference in their city and county by using the information their officers gathered on collision reports. You will also hear how grant funding is available to your agency. You will see how important the information our law enforcement community provides through collision reporting. Over 100,000 collisions are submitted to the Washington State Patrol and the Department of Transportation each year. Together, WSP and DOT review every report. If we see missing data, we ask the submitting agency for corrections. Timely and accurate information is very important for traffic safety research.
We put all that raw information collected from the officer reports into the State Collision Data Repository. So in a sense, we take all that data, convert it into powerful, meaningful collision information for a lot of customers.
Collision data is used for identifying locations where law enforcement emphasis should be placed to improve traffic and citizens' motoring safety. All law enforcement agencies such as city police, sheriff deputies, and state troopers need this data to identify high-traffic collision areas that involve such things as speeding, erratic driving, and driving under the influence collisions.
You're under arrest for DUI.
What am I have you do?
Washington has a strategic highway safety plan. Target Zero uses collision data to plan dozens of strategies to further reduce traffic fatalities. These strategies have been proven to be very successful and effective. Collision reporting is providing the proof that Target Zero works.
You might ask, what is Target Zero? Well, Target Zero is our plan or our vision of having zero fatalities and serious injury collisions in Washington State by 2030.
Under Target Zero, state troopers, sheriff deputies, city and tribal police officers focus on violations proven to cause fatal or serious injury collisions. The benefit of timely reporting has a direct impact on funding opportunities from both state and federal programs, such as the Fatal Analysis Reporting System.
The Police Traffic Collision Report is the lifeblood of FARS. Every detail noted by investigating officers on that report goes into the FARS database, including the narrative and the diagram. Timely reporting helps the Washington FARS program meet federal data quality and quantity benchmarks. But there's a second benefit to law enforcement agencies. Agencies that are slow in reporting fatal crashes may find themselves shortchanged when it comes to funding for special projects.
Collision reporting helps all agencies by reducing responses to collisions through roadway and highway improvements. The data used by engineers allows law enforcement agencies to focus their efforts to more urgent areas within their communities.
Well, basically, Fife has changed from a rural community to more of an industrial. This used to be a two-lane roadway, one lane in each direction, with no valid turn lanes, unimproved shoulders. Through the assistance of the statistical data from prior collisions, they were able to expand this roadway into 5 lanes one direction, 4 lanes in another, dedicated turn lanes, dedicated turn signals, and it's just greatly improved the amount of collisions in which we respond to. I would roughly say we probably had a collision every other day, if not daily. Now with the use of sidewalks and dedicated turn lanes, that just does not happen anymore. It's both beneficial to our citizens as well as our police department, the time away that we can concentrate on other areas that are considered problems.
More and more agencies throughout Washington are using electronic capabilities to file collision reports. This process, known as Sector, is aiding in speeding responses and assuring accuracy in reporting. But there is still much more to do to affect changes in our roadways.
We've installed the Sector equipment in all of our vehicles, so that's available for them to do the accident investigations on the Sector equipment, which is, a lot more real time and a lot more quickly processed through the system. It was obvious to their Public Works Department that people were missing the stop sign and resulting collisions, so that's why they added the flashing red light to just help get people's attention. Also, they've added street lights, a couple street lights at this location to illuminate it at night, so that it's obvious as you're driving down the street here that there's something at that intersection, if there is an intersection. And so, we conduct our investigations. That information is given to our Public Works Department. We work closely with them. So just things that they've worked together to make the roads safer for the motoring public.
You were doing 68. Okay. Okay?
Department of Licensing needs your accurate collision reports too. They're utilized to ensure operators are properly licensed, registered, and insured to be on the roadways of Washington State. DOL has the means to hold individuals who operate vehicles without proper insurance accountable through the Financial Responsibility Assistance Program.
The on-duty box on the collision report is for the benefit of the firefighters and law enforcement officers that are on duty at the time of the collision to protect their driving record. If the box is not marked properly, it goes on their record as being involved in a collision and not being on duty, and it can report to their insurance company and potentially cause an increase in their premiums. It's also important for us to have the insurance company at the time of the collision and the policy number if available. It's required by law. What could happen is result in a suspension of their driving privilege.
Collision reports are used by state and local engineers. They evaluate key cause factors involved to determine if road or highway design or safety equipment could make improvements.
The age of the data can really have an impact on the improvements that are made. For example, behind me, you can see I run a 4-strand cable barrier. This is one example of a countermeasure that's applied to reduce a specific type of accident. Typically, we are providing an analysis every other year, and we don't want to go and make a large capital investment on a project when the solution may be as simple as putting out a higher enforcement for looking at alcohol-related or impaired drivers. I think those are measures that help us making sure that we're spending our money wisely.
All of this starts with the officers, deputies, and troopers on our roads and highways.
We appreciate the officers' attention to detail and the work that they're doing as they're filling out the police traffic collision reports. The information that they provide on that report is what is able to help us as far as getting the quality data necessary to be able to analyze and evaluate where the collisions are occurring, who's involved, and being able to then put resources to those things. Without their help, we couldn't do what we do in reaching Target Zero.
Collision data is very important to us at WashDOT. Accurate and timely information on accidents and incidents helps us invest our money at the right places for safety improvements. Target Zero doesn't work unless we have good collision data.
In our efforts to improve highway safety and save lives on the roadways across the state of Washington, collision data is one of our greatest assets. The accuracy of the information can't be overstated.